not have thought there was anything to tell besides their names. Not since the Great War, anyway. Ah, not so, my friend. There is more to tell than many would suppose. It is true that the Constellations have been thought to be uninvolved with our affairs since the Great War, and— the traveller stopped himself short and held up a hand apologetically. Oh, but I don't want to bore you. It's late, and I'm sure you have much yet to do. No, said Noel. If you are willing, I'd love to hear your stories, truly. The Sky Lords have always intrigued me. The work can wait. Oh, excellent, said the traveller. Nothing would make me happier. Then I'll fetch you some more cider and grab a mug for myself, and then you can begin. When Noel returned, he added a log to the fire and settled into the armchair opposite the traveller. I must tell you before I begin, said the man, that despite these stories I have written, I still know very little about the Constellations. They remain, in many ways, a mystery to me. Truth be told, I did not even set out to write about them, which might surprise you given what I'm about to tell you. When I was a boy, I encountered one of the Sky Lords. It sounds incredulous, I know, but it is true. In that meeting I was told that Hibaria and the islands were on the cusp of great disaster, and it was given to me to write the stories of our time. And so from that moment on, that has been my unwavering pursuit. However, despite this encounter with one of the Constellations, I, like most people, supposed the Sky Lords to be largely uninvolved in the doings of the islands, apart from guarding Orgrind in his prison in the Rift. We have not heard of anyone interacting with these mysterious creatures for over 700 years. I viewed my meeting as unique, a strange exception, an anomaly. And so when the war with Orgrind began, the new war as it's beginning to be called, I did not think to write about the Constellations. It seemed clear that the Sky Lords had failed to keep Orgrind in his prison, but what details could possibly be known about the failure? No. My intent with these stories— the traveller gestured to the parchment spread upon the hearth— was to chronicle what could be known about the unfolding of the war. I wanted to introduce those individuals who played a part in the fight against Orgrind and the magician Imago. I wanted to understand how these children— for, as you know, no small part of this war was fought by children— came to be involved, and in some cases, how they rose to lead the armies of Hibaria against the Emperor of the Night. It baffled me that so many young people should play such a central role, and I set out to see what could be learned. It was in my research that I discovered, much to my surprise, that many of these children had encounters with the Constellations in the years leading up to the war. Some of these children had been given tasks by the Sky Lords, much as I had been given a task. Some of them had been entrusted with information about Orgrind and Imago that no one at that point in time knew. Some of them had been witness to major developments in the build-up to the war, and some were given no task at all, but were simply met in a time of great need. All of these young people, however, were deeply changed by their encounters with the Constellations, and all went on to join the fight against Orgrind. When I learned these things, I realized that my encounter with one of the Constellations was not unique at all. It began to be clear to me that these reclusive creatures of the night sky are far more involved in the doings of Hibaria and the islands than any of us might have guessed. They were certainly involved in how the war unfolded, though, as you'll see, their actions were seldom direct and their methods and motives often difficult to fathom. And so, my friend, I set out to chronicle the beginnings of the new war, and how so many children came to be central to the conflict. And in so doing, I discovered that these events were not random, they were shaped. The Constellations, once thought to be so removed from us, are not. They are active, and they are involved. I do not pretend to understand all that I have uncovered, but what I have found, I will gladly tell you now. The Mending. The boy searched among the rocks and sandbars of the peninsula, his clear green eyes